Hey everybody, how are you doing? Happy 19th of May. Can you believe how fast the time is flying? So I want to come on here to tell you about a really fantastic lucid dream I had last night. I don't think I've had a lucid dream since 2016. Um, I remember going to see a speaker right after I had that dream. There's a woman that wrote a book, which I can find somewhere in my stuff about lucid dreaming, but I've had them on and off, but you'll like this one. So I would have been even on a little earlier, but my alleged friend called me and said, Kid, do you have time to talk? And I was like, well, I'm getting ready to do a show, you know, but they needed to talk to me. So I stopped everything and talked to them. Well, tell me about that dream. It's like, dude, just wait till I do the video. You could have found out then. You're interrupting me, getting ready to tell my peoples about this dream, and you want me to tell you now. This person isn't going to be my ex-friend, but I did have him roaring laughing because I'm saying you're totally worthless. So anyway, I just have to tell you guys about this. I think I woke up at 5 a.m. and I think the dream happened after 5 a.m. this morning because I went back to sleep. So, and when I went back to sleep, I was thinking about how much I hate you know who. And I know you're not supposed to hate, but I couldn't help it. I was just, what a terrible, terrible person. And in this dream, that's not was a that I knew I was dreaming. That's one of the things with lucid dreaming. You know you're dreaming. I'm in the White House. The energy in the White House is extremely toxic. You could feel the obsession, depression. I saw a lot of kind of like ghost energy walking through, but they can't see it with their human eyes, but I could see it with my dream eyes, and I could feel it. And I put the protection around me to be able to walk through. I walk in the room where Trump is sitting, and everybody there treats him like a little china cup. You don't want to upset him. You don't want him to get, nobody sits and tells him the truth. But in the dream, he was extremely upset about his China visit. By the way, do you know that China didn't really meet with anybody that he brought with him? So that trip was really a slap in the face. But you know how he is. He's like those people I told you about the time I went to see Godspell, and we were coming down. It was in San Francisco, one of those curly stairways, and this two couples stopped in the middle of the stairway to discuss, did they want quail for dinner? Did they want this or that? And they were wearing meat jackets and stopping everybody. And some guy behind us yelled, "What a bunch of pigs." And they barely glanced up, but kept talking like he couldn't possibly be talking about us. That's the energy around Trump. Nobody could possibly. He's everything he does is a great idea. He's the best president ever. He's not, all those other polls are fake polls. So I was in the White House. I saw him standing there. I saw him furious at China. And I also heard, because there's somebody talking to me and I'm talking to them, but it's in spirit form. And I said, so what about Iran? What's going on? And this person told me everything he says is a lie. He talks trash. He has no intention of hitting Iran or blowing them up. He went in there that first time. They thought they were king for a day. They went in there and thought, we're going to take over like Venezuela. And Iran hit back and hit back hard. He wants this off the table. He wants to get rid of this. He stopped the one with Obama. In fact, I don't know if it's true because Iran tells stories too. They said, yeah, we're not going to talk to you till you have your regime changed, like you get Obama or Biden in there. So it was like all puffing up. It was all acting like But when I was getting divorced from my last husband, that attorney, his attorney was saying some stuff. I'm like, what? She said they puff up. They try to act like they do it for their client, not for you. They try to act like, yeah, well, we're going to do this and that, whatever. So he acts like he's going to take over. Somebody wrote me and said, he's already said 6 times, he said, I'm going to blow him off the face of the earth, which is a crime. And then he turned around and said, no, I'm not. He doesn't want to do it. He's not talking that way. I do see him eventually blaming Hedgehog for all this. Don't ask me why. I definitely got a yes on that. He'll get mad at Hedgehog and say it was all your fault. Now, Iran is like not going to let it go. They're like a dog biting him, and they're just not going to let it go. He may think he's got things under control, but he doesn't. Iran is not going to, Iran knows there's, as best as they can. They know that they don't want to get bombed, but they're not going to say with the magic word right off the bat. They're waiting for him to just crumble. All right, I'll tell them, hold on 1 second, just give me a second. They're still talking to me while I'm trying to talk to you guys. I just heard just now, they said, wait till you see the results tonight. He really is going to be upset. And it's going to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he has no power. So he thought he got rid of Cotton or somebody. He thought he was able to get, and let me tell you, Massie's definitely going to win. And in Texas, he decided to go for the cross-eyed guy, Paxton. And that Val is something, he's going to win. So, yeah, he's a nothing burger. Nothing he says or do this. But remember, this happened before. This happened before in the midterms. He looked like he got beat up. Nothing. I think one person he said he wanted to win won, but everybody else lost. But do you think they realized that he was horrible? Nope. They all are possessed by an energy and a demon energy too. I wasn't raised with religion. I do believe in Jesus. And just encircle that power, that love around him in that White House. He's concentrating on things. He knows not what he does. I know that, because he said that. Jesus said that on the cross. They know not what they do. But so many people are going against him. That's that energy I could feel, that pulsating energy, like an explosion, like people just saying, enough, enough. Gas is $7 a gallon out here in California. California is too expensive, as you know, which gives me some doubts about Newsom, because as much as I really like Newsom and his ability to tell Trump off, I also don't like the fact that he was allowing a lot of things to take place that just cost us an arm and a leg, although it is probably the most beautiful state I've ever been to. Absolutely gorgeous. So, okay, enough of that. So, Massie is definitely going to win. I heard that as clear as day. And Tala, whatever, is going to win. I don't think the guy he said vote for him, the cross-eyed guy, I don't see him even making it to the midterms. Okay, so I was standing there, couldn't believe my luck in being able to get in there and hear all this information going on. People are afraid to death of him. They're scared. Like he barks, they drop what's ever in their hands, which brings me to another story. Sorry, you guys. I have a pretty loud voice, and it would probably be better to beat my kids, but I yelled at them. I didn't beat them, I yelled, but sometimes that's worse. I have a real, what are you doing? Get out of there. Like Jacob used to bug me when I'm on the phone. Mama, I cut my hand. And I could see it was just a little cut. Mama, you want me to call 911? No? Okay, then go on. I'm not as sweet as I used to be. So anyway, that's what I was feeling, that energy. And I was at my sister's house one time and the kids were still in Deities and the kids are running around. And they used to love to go there at Debbie's. And Jacob had something that he shouldn't have, which normally is the case because he was quite the adventurer. He taught his little cousin, Scotty, how to pull out all the safety plugs for the electrical sockets. They had their pacifiers in their mouth and they're pulling it out. Anyway, so I yelled at Jacob, drop that. And both Vinny and my nephews, Vinny and Scotty, dropped what they had in their hand. Me and my sister busted up laughing. Jacob and Jeffrey just kept playing, you know. Sorry about that, but yeah, I could be gruff. Anyway, so thank you for the Massie information. They just now overwhelmed me. And I had already known he was going to win, but I heard it clear as day. They're kind of still with me, you guys. So this will be interesting if I answer some of your questions. So anyway, he's furious at China, but he doesn't dare mess with China. He talked too much trash. He talked too much trash. China doesn't like him. Nobody likes him. And I see that Saudi Arabia and other countries in the Middle East have told Trump, do it again, sucker, and watch what happens. Like, hit them again, hit Iran again, and we're going to, sell you out, block anything that you think you can land in our part of the woods. No. And part of the reason Trump, listen to this carefully, part of the reason Trump says that he wants to hit Iran or will hit them and obliterate them is for Netanyahu's. Because Netanyahu's all over him. Pretty soon that whole energy, I don't know when I got this, but I see all that going away. I think Netanyahu is going away. And so the nation will become a great nation. I see a woman in charge of Israel, and I see much better feelings towards Israel. But with Netanyahu, he's not a good person. So I say that with all due respect. There's nobody I hear say, oh, Netanyahu's great. Tell me if you've heard something. So, okay, so I went off again. So I can see that gold on the walls. I see all that stuff. I could hear the pounding of them working on the ballroom. I just got another hit. I think somebody might try to do something with that ballroom. Set it on fire or send something in that, the drone, and do something with the ballroom. Like it doesn't quite take off. Oh, and did you guys see the lines of people in South Carolina getting ready to vote Lindsey Graham out? Oh my word, poor Lindsey. He shouldn't have stuck with the master. So JD Vance was on today and did a whole spiel. I didn't listen to it because he'll just take the PowerPoints that Trump talks about, lies through his teeth. They're all going down. The other one that's really going down, which I was surprised that I saw in that lucid dream, is they're talking trash behind Marco Rubio's back, which I was very surprised. I thought he liked Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is the Secretary of the State, and he was not invited on this trip to China, just his rich friends. Let me tell you another hit I got while I was there. When Trump's regime is gone, which I think will be before the 4 years for sure, I remember thinking in my mind, because of the heartache that a lot of other nations have gone through because of us, they want to believe us. They want to say, hey, welcome back. But this has really caused them to think about just taking care of themselves, which is actually good. But they need a powerful energy form to negotiate peace with all the other nations. And you know who I saw as clear as day? Pete Buttigieg. Pete was, and if you think about, a lot of people were thinking he could be president, which he may try to run, I don't know, but I see Pete Buttigieg as the Secretary of State. That's what I saw. And his ability to discuss um, uh, bringing people together. I just saw it as clear as day. At least they showed me in that dream. That's what I saw in the dream. Um, so in this lucid dream, all of a sudden I saw Trump's gravesite, and a few years have gone by. But nobody put up the big, beautiful statues for him. It was a gravesite covered in weeds. Now that's probably just some sort of psychic premonition, not literally. Well, his gravesite, I can't tell you where the gravesite was. It didn't feel like it's with Ivana, but it was a gravesite and it was covered in weeds. And just more information when he's out. And this is what was very important that I got from this lucid dream. It's unbelievable. I just kept seeing the headlines like in the old newspapers, and people don't get newspapers anymore. But I just kept seeing headlines and headlines of more stuff being found out about Trump, more of the Epstein thing, more this, more that. And anybody that was connected to him at all is getting ready to go down. Let me tell you something else I saw today. It's a pastor in one of those Christian churches. And he was talking about that. Is her name Pam? The spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. What's her name? I can't think of it now. But anyway, the blonde. And he was saying, she stood up in that church and said, 3 people are coming up here to the podium and they're each going to give me $10,000 because God just told me so. And then she was lying about this and that. And he said, she is a blasphemer. She is not true to the word of God. So yeah, there's a lot, even the Christian church is starting to take a good look that this is not cool. How can you say you speak to God and he said, you're all going to give me $10,000? I could tell you all that right now. Hey, God just told me y'all send me $10.99 in loose change by Tuesday because God told me so. So anyway, but I have to tell you that I definitely saw Pete Buttigieg being Secretary of the State. I didn't see who the president was going to be. I didn't even ask. I was just collecting so much information, mostly about, I see, okay, sorry, but I see Marco Rubio speaking real talk to certain people, but one of them is stabbing him in the back, where he's saying, geez, I don't know, this president's off his way. He's talking real talk. And somebody's going back and telling Trump, he's saying you're this, you're that, you're not right. And then that makes Trump mad and looks at him like the enemy. But well, he's talking the truth. So I see him going down with the ship. Paxson is the guy that Trump picked. The one that has the eyes like Kashat Patel. So yeah, it just kept going, with a lucid dream, you'll wake up and go back to sleep and continue with the dream. But it was so real. I was standing in there, it stunk like hell. The oppression from the energy in the room was bad. I saw that woman that says, I'll do anything to stay next to you. I'm not seeing that as a romantic relation. I see he has difficulties, but he likes people to kiss the ring. So I don't know if there's necessarily I don't think he can perform, I'll be honest with you, but that's what I get. I could be wrong. Okay, so let's see what you guys asked. This is like opening up a Christmas present. What's my people saying today? Okay. are you guys? Here we go. Happy birthday to Nate. Yesterday was his birthday. Such a sweet guy. Oh, you guys, I put a post up that I cried. I was left. Lauren Livingston called out President Paula White. He's
Heretic,
a heretic,
blaspheming,
Jezebel. Yep. Couldn't have put it more perfect. And did you guys go to my community channel? That's where you can get information. But I posted this, and now I don't see it. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't post this. Well, I'll post it now, but you guys will bust up laughing. Hold on one second. Let's go. Oh, and then somebody posted that Richard Carpenter had died, 1948 to 2006. So I reposted, and then I thought, oh, you better just double check with chat with the news agency. Fake news. And then my friend that called and needed to know my dream now, I said, did you see Richard Carpenter died? He said, yeah, is that your ex-husband? Oh my God. I said, oh my God, read the birth dates, 1948. My ex-husband was younger than me. Anyway, so I was like, whatever. Just hold on, you guys. You guys will love this. Here we go. Well, okay, you guys.
I was checking my Doge Street, but I better go to Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago base. I'm gonna get some huge tits. I'm gonna pop up I'm gonna divorce my great grandfather and replace those here. What's wrong with you? I'm seeing you for the first time. Give me that check. You're gonna stay looking like Laura Luber.
I didn't realize they were swearing in it. I better not keep playing it. But oh my God, I'll post it now on my YouTube community page. And oh my God, you guys, it's one of the funniest. It's called The Gay Guy, and it's so real by the gay guy. And they took old fashioned, you remember that movie. That's like one of my favorite movies. But I heard she was as cold as ice. Joan Crawford wasn't a nice person. They said when the camera turned on, she was beautiful, happy, and then the minute the camera turned off, she was cold as ice. Okay, hold on. Let me post this. You guys, it was from Facebook. If you get a chance, take a look. Some of you, if you have Facebook, you saw I already reposted it. Okay, so. Ooh, 180 questions. Linda, with all the money he is stealing and spending, how are the coffers of the United States Treasury going to be replenished? Slowly but surely. I can't give you all the details, but I do see big, Clinton got us out of a bad situation, but he called in the top brass, good people. See, the thing is with Trump, he's stealing all the money, and his people are stealing all the money. And they could care less about regular United States citizens needed. And they're cutting all the benefits for the poor people and giving them a big chunk of change. So I do see it take a couple of years, but I do see us sort of reversing it. Yeah, the IRS settlement money is stealing. And I see a lot of blocks, like not being able to get it through because so many people, so many congressmen and people are saying, oh, hell no. And that's another thing that a regular MAGA person who normally would have voted for a Republican, they're like, oh, hell no. No, if you guys don't stop this, you're getting out. A lot of you guys are asking the same questions. I see that 1.7 billion not going anywhere. Even if they put it aside, I see it being stopped. And don't forget, I kept seeing a lot of money that Trump stole in different accounts, all of it getting taken back by the United States. I see a certain person working probably for the Department of Justice in the new administration saying, we're freezing this, we're freezing that. Yeah, Hedgehog is violating the Hatch Act going to Kentucky. It don't matter if he's going to Kentucky. Nobody wants your happy ass. And you're out there starving these soldiers? That's not right. They're not appropriately giving them the food and stuff. Although someone just showed me food coming in. They're just now replenishing some of it. And I got emails from a mother whose son was out there and she couldn't even send care packages. So, and yes, the 2024 real election, that's another, I don't know if I said that already. Remind me if I did. I saw the full truth about that election because remember, we were all so shocked. We couldn't believe that he won. We all felt like it must have been stolen, but but now that he's in office, he makes it so you can't see it. Elon Musk used Starlink and helped him, and that will come out. That will be known by everybody that he never truly. This is part of the reason why down the road here, they're going to be able to remove Trump off the picture of being a president because it was a fraud. It was a fake. Because remember, Elon Musk is going down too. I said this back in 20. There's a lot of white men that voted, but it still wasn't enough. We witnessed it. We saw her rallies. We saw it packed with people who didn't have to pay. But he charged people, and it still was just sparse people. And then Elon Musk announced that he won way before it was announced. So there you go. He stole it. But I know this sounds terrible. God forbid, because look at the hell we're going through. His people had to see who he really was. And now they're all saying it. There's a lot of people they're interviewing at these polls right now saying, I voted for him 3 times and he has just turned out not to be the person I thought he was going to be. He's left us out here. Ooh, yeah, it says Michigan in the last 6 weeks has been having earthquakes and large booms all around. We do have fault lines here. And there's been an earthquake in the past. Rarely any damage, but this is very unusual. We are close to the new Madrid fall. There's going to be more quakes and booms, but not Armageddon. Wasn't there a pretty good size earthquake on the new Madrid years ago? I'm not seeing Armageddon, but I am seeing more adjusting. Okay. Let's see. Where am I, you guys? Here we go. Somebody said Dave Johnson also said something what I'm saying. I just saw he has a video. I'll take a look, see. Okay. My posts. Here we go. Lucid dreaming is really something, but you can control it. I was really good at controlling it back when I first had them. I had them more frequently, even I would end a dream and come back in and start it from where I left off. But that 1.7 million, this is going to be challenged big time. And it just feels like it's not going to happen. That's my hit. Let me just throw the cards real quick on it. Yeah, it was going to be a great buyout. Look at this, but it's reversed. There's a lot of too big energy forms are stopping this or looking at this. You know, can I tell you something? Ooh, not going to happen, you guys. Not going to happen. Trump, he's supposed to put it in a separate, he's got his fingers in it. I don't know if he's telling people I'm going to give you 5 million and you're going to give me a kickback of this, but I see where they're going to find out that he was looking for kickbacks. Reverse, reverse. People saying no. People saying no. Look, can I just take a real quick look at Thomas Massie? He should be in a good mood today. That was terrible what happened in San Diego. Thomas Massie, how are you going to feel tonight? I see him smiling. I see him standing at the podium smiling, and it gives him faith in mankind. He still votes for like a good 80% of what Trump puts through. It was just, he said, no, you can't hide those files. Massie, how are you going to do tonight, sweetie? There's something about his face that seems kind, you know. But I still am mad at the Republicans, even if they, you know, protest how they could, like Susan Collins, and then all of a sudden they turn a leaf. Susan Collins going to lose too. There's Thomas Massie with the Ten of Pentacles celebrating. There's the party, you guys. Pack your bags, let's go. Victory after burden. You know how much money they spent? This is really going to show Trump about spending all that money or having people spend money and how it doesn't work. The same thing with Tom Steyer. You know, I don't see him up on the top. I see Javier, maybe Hilton, but I don't see him. And it's, you know, every other commercial was Tom. Sometimes you can get overwhelmed. Not that he wouldn't do the right thing, but just sometimes people don't like it going down. They don't like billionaires telling you what time of day it is. Um, so yes, Hedgehog violated the Hatch Act. Everybody's saying, can't wait. I can't wait either, and I'd have been to you a lot sooner if whatchamacallit hadn't called me. Can we talk? I'm like, sure, I'm thinking something happened in the family or, you know. He never says, can we talk unless it's something important. So I'm thinking it's something important, but no, he wants the inside scoop of what my dream was. The effing Liberty. I think Ossoff is definitely going to win. Let's look at Keisha Lance Bottoms. Keisha Lance Bottoms. Are you going to take it, sweetie? She's very pretty. Cynthia, she said, can we ever going to get the money back that he stole? Yes, it's going to be us as a nation. He's trying to send it to other places, just putting a hold like we did even with Russia, putting a hold on it, locking it up. Okay, Keisha Lance Bottoms. My guides want me to do a thing on Iran too. Hold on. Let me look real quick. Justice is served. Victory after burden. There's her. The angel of light and oh my God, she's gonna win, you guys. I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh, you know, I'm gonna be on with Violetta. I haven't been on with her in a while. I think next week. Okay. I still have the vertigo. Like I went out to water my garden and did a few things, and I have to be very careful. I have to squat down to grab the hose. I can't put my head forward. Or okay. I want to look at Iran. Give me Anything else on Iran? Because see, right now, I don't know if it's really them doing this, but somebody's saying they're going to hit Florida, Mar-a-Lago. Okay, thank you. Well, I've told you guys this before, but I just heard as clear as day, they will not rest until somebody pays. So I feel like they are going to be after Trump and his family. Trump doesn't get to walk the earth free. He will be watched, and his family will be watched. Even all the other ones, Marco Rubio, Hedgehog, I see they are in danger too. Iran and Trump. Iran and Trump. And I see some of those cartoons, those Lego cartoons they put up and stuff. And occasionally I have to like it, but I know once I've hit like, I'm on the watch list with the United States government. That'll all disappear. Like, how dare you like something that Iran did? They're our enemy. Ooh. So check this out. High cards. Temperance with the death card with the ending. They're going to manage to get some money from Trump to open those straits. There's something to do with money being passed. He might ask that they do it sort of behind closed doors. The outcome is the truth. The outcome is the truth. Justice will be served. So no, I don't see any bombings or terrible things happening. I see the Navy very happy to get, because the Navy, the bigwigs in the Navy are trying to stop or challenge this and not, allow this craziness to go on. It's the military bigwigs that refuse to do a lot of things that is saving us. Ooh, somebody just said a MAGA influencer who's now reforming came out on video on TikTok about Elon in the election. Is she safe? I just heard no. She said she sent the info on what she knows to multiple people, including someone who's working on a bigger project. I'm concerned for her safety. I wonder if that was about the voting. Okay. Is Gavin Newsom working behind the scenes on a deal to address California's anticipated gas shortage? Now, listen, there's a guy on YouTube. I can't think of his name, but he's very down to earth. And he says that everybody's saying July 4th shortage. And he said, no, that's not the case because they're counting gas as oil and it's a horse of a different color. We have plenty of gas, according to him. He said, you don't have to take off the top. The gas is clean through and through. It's filtered. So no, we've got plenty of gas. Yeah, so Snoogle said, I've read several times that Harrison Walsh won by a landslide, and they did. They did. And I'm so sorry that Elon Musk managed to sneak and steal. And it will all come back on them, but still, we are struggling. People are struggling. Olivia wants to know who I see as governor, and I think Becerra. I think Becerra's going to win. Now, I'm not absolutely thrilled with him. It's sort of same thing, different day. But I see him standing up for California. And Trump is selling our gas under the table to make money. And also anytime he does that talk about we're going to bomb or we're going to do this, it's all about the stock market. He likes to get it down and then they buy, and then it goes back up. Today it's down. I posted, I think, on my YouTube about this guy said, we ruined the whole world's economy when we ruin our economy. The Great Depression in the 1920s, all nations felt it. The 2008 felt it. A whole bunch of stuff that we've been including this one that we're doing now. We affect other nations. It's probably better other nations get out from underneath us. Okay, so, what is this? 10 days ago, Israel spent 10 million on the GOP primary opponents campaign last night. Al Jazeera said it rose to 34 million as of yesterday. Yeah, they can spend all they want. He's still going to lose. Don't forget that woman, that rich woman that ran against Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown didn't have no money. He barely changed his clothes. And he didn't go out there pounding the streets. He was already governor and she was running against him. And I mean, she spent money and she lost. So right now, people need food on the table. They need to be in a nation they feel comfortable with, and they don't feel comfortable with him. Okay, so. Oh, here's a good. Lily said, I had a lucid dream as well. I heard a ginormous horn, almost like a ship horn or a trumpet, across the sky. Earth or society was on one big body of land surrounded by water. As I looked out, I saw a church steeple growing lighter and wider and taller than any other building. Pope Leo was in it. I saw a tall needle-like structure. Once I looked up, I saw a black needle on what looked like an antenna that was loose and topping over. It had a Russian-American flag combined in one as it completely fell and disappeared into the body of water. I was holding a broken black antenna in my hands after that tall black needle-like structure fell and disappeared in a deeply upset as no one who was in power seemed to care. The antenna was broken as I was holding it in my hand. No one seemed to care or was even surprised that communication was down. Then I saw a large white needle growing larger and larger, taller than any structure on that island, full of people. The voice said, "It will not fall." Thought I would share that with Linda. Thank you for sharing that. Very good dream. Very good dream. Well, thank you, you guys. So I got more questions. I can do this because I don't like keeping this too long. I'll definitely do another video probably tomorrow. What do I have to do tomorrow? There's something I have to go to. Oh, I have lunch with a girlfriend. Okay, you guys, you take care. And I got to go see my sister because all your mail's over there. Okay, bye, you guys.